Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to have your whole life basically dictated by these crazy vivid dreams? I mean, just imagine
Hmm.
going from being the favorite child to uh ending up a slave, and then all of a sudden you're like this powerful dude in a completely foreign land.
Yeah, that's quite the journey, isn't it? It's like the kind of thing that makes you wonder about destiny and how much control we actually have over our own lives.
Exactly. And that's what got me thinking when I was reading 17 Spoons by Esther Goldenberg.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's fiction, but it kind of feels like historical fiction or maybe even like biblical fiction with all this stuff about destiny and family and ancient settings and things like that.
Yeah, those are some pretty heavy themes for sure. It's like the kind of stuff that people have been trying to make sense of for centuries.
Right. So basically, this book is about this guy named Joseph. And the story starts out with him as a kid, and he's got these really intense dreams that seem almost prophetic. And then things take a really dark turn when his own brothers betray him and he gets sold into slavery in Egypt.
Wow, talk about family drama.
Yeah, right? But then get this, he somehow manages to climb the ranks and ends up becoming like a vizier, which is like a super high-ranking official. I really think Goldenberg wanted us to think about the whole idea of family and how it could be like a source of both strength and this incredible pain.
Right, like how those closest to you can sometimes be the ones who hurt you the most.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's also the role of faith, especially when you're dealing with some serious hardship.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing about trying to hold on to your identity when everything familiar is ripped away.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget about the whole dream interpretation thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. I mean, trying to figure out what your dreams mean can be like trying to solve a riddle.
Totally. So we've spent a good amount of time with this book, and there were some things we really loved about it, and then there were a couple things that weren't our absolute favorite. But we want to talk about all of it without giving away any spoilers so you can still enjoy the story.
Yeah, definitely gonna leave some room for the surprises.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was really impressed by was all the detail Goldenberg puts into describing the settings and customs of the time period. It's not just like a generic backdrop. It's like you're actually there with Joseph experiencing it all.
Yeah, that's so important in historical fiction, isn't it? When the author can really transport you to another time and place.
For sure. And also that she did a fantastic job of showing us what was going on inside Joseph's head, especially when it came to his dreams. You
Mm.
really get a sense of how those dreams were shaping his thoughts and actions, and it's like this really powerful mix of mystery and deep emotion.
Yeah, it's like you're getting a glimpse into his soul and how these dreams are shaping his destiny.
Right. And then there's the way the story keeps you guessing. Just when you think you know what's going to happen next, bam, Goldenberg throws in a curveball and it keeps you hooked.
I love that. Keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now let's talk about a couple of things that weren't quite as smooth sailing. And keep in mind, this is just our opinion, of course.
Sure.
So one thing is that there are a lot of characters in this book and a lot of family relationships. And while that definitely adds to the richness of the story, it can also be a little tough to keep track of everyone.
Yeah, I can see how that might be a challenge, especially if you're trying to read it quickly.
And then there's the dream interpretation thing.
Yeah.
Again, I love that it was a central part of the story, but sometimes I felt like the interpretations were a little too straightforward. Like maybe they could have been a little more subtle.
Yeah, I get that. It's like the difference between showing and telling sometimes. You want to be given enough clues to figure it out yourself rather than having everything spelled out for you.
Exactly. And then the last thing is that the pacing felt a little uneven in some parts. Like some parts of the story just flew by while others felt like they were moving in slow motion. And that kind of messed with the flow for me.
Yeah, pacing can be tricky. I mean, what works for one reader might not work for another.
Totally.
Yeah.
But all in all, I got to say 17 Spoons is a really captivating and thought-provoking book.
Mhm.
I mean, you've got this amazingly detailed world, this fascinating character who's wrestling with these powerful dreams, and a story that's full of surprises.
Mhm.
So even though there were a few things that weren't perfect, I definitely give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
That's a pretty good rating. I'm kind of intrigued now.
Oh, you should definitely check it out,
Yeah.
especially if you're into stories that make you think about big ideas.
Yeah, that sounds right up my alley.
Awesome. So that wraps up our deep dive into 17 Spoons. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more literary discussions.
And don't forget to check out the link in the description to buy the book on Amazon.
Right. Now we want to hear from you. What was your favorite part of Joseph's early life in his dreams? What did you think about the 17 spoons themselves, or that special cloak he got, or his complicated relationship with his brothers? Let us know in the comments below.
We love hearing your thoughts.
Yes, we do. And if you know someone who might enjoy this deep dive, please share it with them. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.